So as you try to decide what object it is you want to draw, if you are a beginner with drawing, you want to err on the side of picking something that's simple to draw or simpler to draw, made up of basic forms, right? We talked about things being made up of cylinders, spheres, cubes, rectangular boxes, cones in some cases. So you want to focus on finding an object that's going to set you up for success. A way that you can kind of do this when you observe an object and you're trying to decide whether you think it would be good for you for a still life drawing, for drawing from observation, is asking yourself, is the object easy to look at? Okay, I don't mean is it beautiful or attractive. I mean, is it easy for your eye to move around this object, this thing? Drawing, as I've said, drawing is about seeing and then translating what you see onto a page with your hand, right? It's all connected to your eyes and what you see. So when you take in an object, you want to ask yourself, is this an easy object to look at? If the answer is yes, then it's probably going to be an easy object to draw. Again, you're not looking for, is it beautiful, is it attractive? There's many beautiful, attractive things and objects. Think of a beautiful musical instrument. Is that going to make it easy to draw? No, it's probably going to make it harder. So, is the object easy to look at? Is my eye moving around this object with a sense of ease, that it doesn't have to do too much work or too much movement? If it's a simple form and it's simple to look at, it's probably going to be a little easier to draw. Okay, let's look at some examples. My little plant friend here. Do I like looking at this object in the sense of, do I like having it in my house? Yes, I do. I like my plant. Is it easy to look at? Not so much. The base is easy. It's kind of like an upside down cone or cylinder, basically. But the plants themselves are all over the place. Some are tall, some are short. So my eye has to kind of move up and down. There's all these pink details on the leaves, variegated leaves. So if I really wanted to understand this form by studying it with my eyes, which is what we're doing when we're studying forms with our eyes, we're trying to understand them, right? How they work and what they do. If we're trying to understand it with our eyes, my eyes have to do a lot of work to fully understand this. Is it going to be easy to draw? Probably not in the realistic kind of shading 3D way. It might be a fun one to do a contour drawing of, where you're just doing the outlines. If you only had to focus on the outlines of the shapes, that might be not so bad, but doing those patterns inside would be very tricky to also give it a sense of value with the shading and all that. So that's not so easy to look at, even though it's cute, right? Easy to look at? How about this one? Totally easy to look at. It's just a sphere pretty much that gets shortened at the top, and then it has a little baby cylinder for the neck. As you can see, there's your circle. What else makes it easy to look at? Well, there's no inlay or detailing or patterning or writing. There's no details that I need to move my eye around to understand. And the surface is a black matte material, which is clay. There's nothing I need to switch my eye over to. There's no metal or wooden base. It's just clay. So I understand that it's just clay right off the bat. Easy to look at, therefore probably easy to draw. And in this case, that is true. What about something like this? Just a jar of jelly. Well, the form is pretty easy because it's pretty much cylindrical, but more like squished. It's like a squished cylinder. Actually, this one's a little, this one would be hard. It's a deceptive one because it's like, it looks like a cylinder from the side maybe, but then it's actually narrow. It's hard to show this on the screen, but then the top is circular. But it gets squished in the middle. So the form is deceptively complicated, and then the writing and the variation in honey, where it's like half here and then that's different, That's going to make it hard because there's just a lot going on. My eye has to do a lot more work to understand what this is and what it's doing and what I see than if it were just something like this. Back to this, right? We understand it. It's easy to look at. So I hope that makes sense. If it's easier to look at, it's going to be a little easier to draw. I'm not saying across the board, I'm saying in most cases. If it's harder to look at, if your eye has to do more work to explore all the lines of it and all the textures and all the patterns, it's going to end up being also more difficult to then draw. All right? See you later.